Hello everyone, my name's Celeste and I'm coming at you with another video. I wanted to kind of do a little story time on why I chose to be in mental health. I haven't talked about this since my first video on my channel. And now I have like 40 something videos. So I think it's time I update everyone, well, just inform everyone who hasn't seen that first video on why I chose mental health. Um, it's where do I even begin? It was I was about 2019. I was like 23 years old, 22. And I was at a really stressful job. It was my first big girl job working full time out of college. Just finished my bachelor's degree. I got a job as an admin, and I really, truly, looking back, I don't think that I knew what life was about. Like, I was so naive, and I don't think I understood like life and how it is. So, and how harsh it can be. And I'm a very sensitive person. So yeah, I had that job and my bosses were great, but my boss's boss, they just did not like me. And, and I don't, people say don't take this personal, but they repeatedly kept telling me that I was so young and I was a millennial and I didn't really know what I was doing. And they were a lot older than me. They were like boomer age. And I just felt like the gap was so big that they just didn't think I knew what I was doing. And honestly, I was so young, I didn't know what I was doing. But they constantly made me feel like that and were borderline harassing me, like just checking every single thing I did. It was a nightmare, honestly. And all the while I was going out every weekend. It was the first time I had like a lot of money at my disposal, so I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is great." Like I was going out all the time, drinking a lot. I was still like 22, 23, so all I cared about was friends and partying. So, yeah, that's what I was doing. And I was also coming out of a like 3-year relationship, my first ever relationship, too. So, I was going through some heartbreak. Like, it's hard to go through that. And it was like a trifecta, like the perfect storm. And I got to the point where I had a therapist and I just hit rock bottom. Told my therapist, like, I was just not doing okay. Like, I didn't want to be here anymore. I wanted to just end things, if you know what I mean. I don't want to say it because policies on YouTube and stuff, but she basically told me that she didn't think I was safe to kind of like go home. So she set me up to enter a mental health rehabilitation program in San Diego, or a center actually. And thankfully, I had great insurance and it covered it because it was a great place. And I was there for about a month and a half. I told my parents, and they were supportive, of course. They wanted me to get the help that I needed. I didn't tell anyone else. It was just my parents and my sister, and that's it. And they knew that I was like at this place. It was very hush hush because, as you can tell, as you can imagine, I was embarrassed. I was like, this is embarrassing. Like, the fact that I need to go get help. And it was also like a rehab center. So I, in my head, was like, I'm going to rehab. Like, I need rehab. And no one ever wants to feel like they need rehab. I was so young, I didn't understand stigma about mental health. And um, I was there for a month and a half. It changed my life. It I would not be here if it wasn't for that program or my therapist. Shout out to my therapist. I still see her to this day. Like, she's saved my life so many times. Um, so I went there for a month and a half. I loved the program. I loved the people that I met. I want to have a whole separate video on just like talking about rehab centers and addiction and things like that, because my mind was blown. Like, I had no idea that people had these struggles. That just shows you how naive I was to like real life. And those people and their stories changed my life. Like, I truly thought, if these people with their stories and their life, their experiences can continue to show up for themselves every single day, then I can show up for myself every single day. Like, they gave me strength. So came out of the program. I quit my job. I was like, this is not worth it. I moved back home with my parents, and I decided that I was going to do mental health, like pursue a mental health career, because I truly felt like, well, a personal story about what happened. Like, I can relate in a way, not to everyone, but I can relate to a mental health diagnosis, as I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety. So I was like, yes, like this is my calling. I want to help other people who are struggling. And that's why I chose to do mental health. I went into mental health case management where I started with helping, it was a program for the elderly, so 55 and up. So I worked with the elderly population for a year, actually 2 years, two different programs for the elderly population. And then after that, I moved into crisis mental health, which is the mobile crisis unit, where people would ask, like, call 911, say that they're having a crisis, they want to hurt themselves or hurt other people. And I would just go with the team and we would see what's going on and how we could help them. I've done that for 2 years. So 2 years with elderly population case management and 2 years with crisis mental health. I love crisis work. That was like, okay, this is it. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. The only thing with crisis work is, honestly, any mental health work, it's very draining. You have to be there for people, and sometimes mental health professionals are struggling with their own mental health. We have our own lives, things going on. And crisis work, especially because every single day you are encountering people who are going through possibly could be one of the worst moments of their life. So it's very draining. And that's why I ultimately decided to not do it anymore. I was getting to the point where it was just taking too much out of me. I still loved it and I still love it. Like, if I could have continued to do it, I would have. But I have to think about my mental health too. And now I'm doing this where I talk to you guys through a camera, and hopefully it can help you all on your mental health journey. So that's my story. Um, I'm gonna link I'm gonna link links below if you guys ever need to talk to someone. 988, if you're just wanting to talk to someone, there's a text line. There's just so many resources out there, and you're not alone. I have been in really dark places before. Um, and I'm glad I made it out because I'm able to share my story, and hopefully it can help someone else out there. That's all I want and hope for. So thank you all for watching. And now some of you who didn't know, now you know my story. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.